Season 3 of House of the Dragon is finally coming this year. After 2 long years away from our screens, the Game of Thrones spin-off is making its return. For those who don't know, this show dives deep into the Targaryen civil war known as the Dance of Dragons, all happening hundreds of years before Daenerys Targaryen ever showed up in the original series. The last season left us on one hell of a cliffhanger. We've got preparations underway for an absolutely brutal war between two sides. The Blacks, who are rallying behind Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen, played by Emma Darcy, and the Greens, who support her wounded younger half-brother, King Aegon II Targaryen, played by Tom Glyn Carney. So if you're hyped for Season 3 and want to know what's coming for the Targaryen dynasty, stick around because I've got all the latest info. And make sure you're subscribed, because I'll be updating you guys as more details drop. Release date. Alright, let's talk release date. House of the Dragon Season 3 is set to premiere in summer 2026. Now, Matt Smith, who plays Daemon Targaryen, actually suggested the episodes might drop in August 2026, but HBO hasn't officially confirmed that yet. So we're looking at somewhere in the summer window. What's really wild is that HBO renewed the show for Season 3 back in June 2024, even before Season 2 had aired. That's some serious confidence in the series right there. And here's the big news. The show has also been confirmed for a 4th and final season. So we're officially at the halfway point of this story. In the meantime, if you need your Westeros fix, the new spin-off series, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, has already started airing on HBO in the US, and on Sky Atlantic, and now in the UK. Cast. Who's returning? Now let's get into who's coming back for Season 3. Pretty much all your favorites are confirmed to return. Matt Smith is back as Daemon Targaryen King Consort. Emma Darcy returns as Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen. Olivia Cooke as Dowager Queen Alicent Hightower. Rhys Ifans as Sir Otto Hightower, Steve Toussaint as Lord Corlys Velaryon, Fabian Frankel as Sir Criston Cole, Sonoya Mizuno as Mysaria, Matthew Needham as Lord Larys Strong, Tom Glyn Carney as King Aegon II Targaryen, Ewan Mitchell as Prince Aemon Targaryen, Fia Sabin as Queen Helaena Targaryen, Harry Collett as Prince Jacaerys Velaryon, Bethany Antonia as Lady Baela Targaryen, Phoebe Campbell as Lady Rhaena Targaryen, Jefferson Hall as both Lord Jason Lannister and Sir Tylan Lannister, Kurt Aegyawan as Grand Maester Orwyle, Kieran Bew as Hugh Hammer, Abubakar Salim as Aelin of Hull, Clinton Liberty as Adam of Hull, Freddie Fox as Sir Gawain Hightower, Gail Rankin as Alice Rivers, Tom Bennett as Ulf White. New cast members. We've also got some exciting new faces joining the cast. James Norton is coming in as Lord Ormond Hightower. He's the cousin of Queen Dowager Alicent Hightower, and he's the Lord of Highgarden and Lord Paramount of the Reach. That's a pretty important role. Tommy Flanagan will play Lord Roderick Dustin, a northern lord who's allied with Rhaenyra. Tom Cullen is joining as Sir Luther Largent, the commander of the City Watch who's loyal to Daemon. Dan Fogler will portray Sir Torrhen Manderley, another northern ally to Rhaenyra. Joplin Sibtain will play Sir John Roxton, the head of House Roxton and an ally to the Greens. Barry Sloane is coming in as Sir Adrian Redfort, a member of Rhaenyra's Queensguard. And Annie Shapiro will portray Lady Alysanne Blackwood, a northern warrior woman and ally to Rhaenyra. Daeron Targaryen finally appears. Here's something fans have been waiting for. We're finally going to meet Daeron Targaryen in Season 3. That's Aegon and Aemon's brother, who's been referenced but never shown. When asked at a recent press conference if we'd finally meet him, showrunner Ryan Condal confirmed with a simple yes. The only catch is that as far as we know, the actor hasn't been cast yet. Condal also talked about why Daron hasn't appeared yet, saying, "The decision to expand Helena's character was that we were fascinated by Alicent's family and Aegon and Aemond, and certainly at some point in the story, even Daron, the beloved, anticipated Daron, get a lot of the screen time and the storytelling time because they're the males, they're the dragon-riding warriors. But Helaena was always fascinating to us because she was a bit of a tabula rasa, as described in the book." What about Nettles? A lot of you have been asking about Nettles. She's a fan favorite character from the books who claims the dragon sheep stealer. Many fans were hoping to see her in Season 2. For now, her story has been kind of merged with Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen's storyline, played by Phoebe Campbell, which has left some fans disappointed. But there's hope. When Condal was asked if Nettles has been completely written out of the show, he said, "I think that's a please stay tuned and keep watching the story. I will say that we love Rhaenyra as a character, and we've really done a lot of legwork to set her up from the beginning as somebody in this Targaryen household who does not have a dragon." He added, "I think the Rhaenyra story, as we're seeing it unfold, is potentially one of those interesting interpretations that we have to offer. And I would just say that we don't do any stuff lightly or without thought. Many of these things we've planned many seasons in advance. So I would just say, buckle up and take the ride with us. And hopefully you like the destination it's going to." So it sounds like there might be more to come with that storyline. Other returning characters. In the Season 2 finale, we met Admiral Lohar, a gender-swapped version of the character played by Abigail Thorne. We definitely expect her and other characters introduced in Season 2 to return for more. As we head into Season 3, we can expect most of the Targaryen clan to be back in action. The final episodes of Season 2 also put a lot more focus on the Dragon Seeds, the Targaryen bastards like Hugh Hammer and Ulf White, so we'd expect them to have much bigger roles going forward. In the finale, we also saw Joshua Ben Tovim appear in a vision to Daemon Targaryen as Sir Brynden Rivers, also known as Lord Bloodraven. Could we see more from him in the future? Possibly. Who won't be back? Unfortunately, there are some characters we're definitely not expecting to see again. The Queen Who Never Was, Rhaenys Targaryen, played by Eve Best, was killed off in a shocking and brutal Episode 4. She died in a fiery clash with Prince Aemon Targaryen, who also left his own brother, King Aegon II, badly wounded in that same battle. Blood and Cheese, played by Sam C. Wilson and Mark Staubert, made their appearance, but we're not expecting them back either. Similarly, Episode 1 saw the brutal death of young Jaehaerys Targaryen, the eldest son of Aegon Targaryen. Flashbacks and new Targaryen children. That said, we're not ruling out flashback scenes, especially after Season 2's surprise returns. Fans were stunned when Millie Alcock returned as young Rhaenyra and Paddy Considine came back as the late King Viserys as part of Daemon Targaryen's visions. So old cast members could definitely return for more flashback sequences. We could also see the arrival of even more Targaryen children, since some of them haven't been born yet in the show's timeline. This includes Aegon's younger son, Prince Maelor, who in the book had a role in the Blood and Cheese storyline. In the show, though, Condal explained that due to compressed timelines, Maelor couldn't be born yet. He told RadioTimes.com, "In our writing of Season 1, we had to compress time a bit to get through 30 years of history, essentially, in what ended up being 20 years, just so that we didn't have to recast every character. I think as time marches on longer and longer, it becomes more challenging to tell all that story in one season, and Season 1 was a challenge in and of itself. So, essentially, we made 30 years happen in 20 years. And that just meant some of the youngest kids in the story weren't around, or were younger than they are in the books. Rhaenyra and Daemon's children, for one, and then certainly Helaena and Aegon. Maelor is not yet in the narrative in the story, so that was a change. This might suggest that a new generation of Targaryen children could be on the way in Season 3, but we'll have to wait and see. Season 3 plot, what to expect. Alright, so what's Season 3 actually going to be about? We don't know every specific detail yet, but we expect it to continue following George R.R. Martin's book, Fire and Blood, though with some changes along the way, just like we've seen in Seasons 1 and 2. Warning, book spoilers ahead if you want to stay completely surprised. In the post-episode featurette, Condal said something really interesting. While this season was very much about the fits and starts of an early medieval war, Season 3 is clearly going to be about total war. So things are about to get way more intense. The Battle of the Gullet. One of the biggest things we're expecting to see is the highly anticipated Battle of the Gullet. a brutal and bloody sea battle that many fans thought would happen in Season 2. When asked why he postponed showing it, Condal explained it's all about balancing the major events in each season. He said, "We were trying to give the Gullet, which is maybe the second most anticipated event of Fire and Blood, the time and the space that it deserves. And obviously, as anybody that's seen the finale knows, we're building to that. That event will happen very shortly in terms of the storytelling of House of the Dragon. Based on what we know now, it should be the biggest thing to date that we've pulled off. And we just wanted to have the time, the space to do that at a level that is going to excite and satisfy the fans and in the way it's deserved. So basically, this battle is going to be massive, potentially the biggest thing the show has done yet. Rhaenyra and the Iron Throne. Based on where Season 2 left off, we're also expecting Rhaenyra to finally take her rightful place on the Iron Throne in Season 3. Showrunner Ryan Condal previously talked about future seasons, saying, "There's a history that marches on for decades after this. So it's not about ending the Targaryen history. It's just finding the place to close the curtain on this particular time. We're trying to find the satisfying television ending or the conclusion where we can leave everybody knowing that time marches on from here, but we've brought this dramatic story to a close." So, I think that's become very clear as we've just gotten farther down the timeline. But I'm not ready to yet talk about how many episodes or seasons are left. But I think the nice thing is we know where we're going. We have all the material that we need because the book is written, and hopefully we can bring this to a satisfying conclusion. Emma Darcy on Season 3. Emma Darcy, who plays Rhaenyra, gave us some insight into how demanding this role is. They told IGN, "Oh my god, by the end of Season 2, I was a fucking shell of myself. I was a husk. I could not form a sentence. I was so tired. I need to implement some way of getting through Season 3, if there's a Season 3, to really harness as much energy as possible. It is a behemoth." So it sounds like Season 3 is going to be absolutely exhausting to film, which probably means it's going to be epic for us to watch. Episode count. How many episodes are we getting in Season 3? House of the Dragon Season 3 will consist of 8 episodes. When asked about this at a press conference, Condal said, "Without saying anything, because I haven't had discussions with HBO about it, I would just anticipate the cadence of the show from a dramatic storytelling perspective will continue to be the same from Season 2 on." For context, Season 1 had 10 episodes, while Season 2 had 8 episodes. As for episode length, we'd expect them to range from 50 to 70 minutes each, depending on how much ground needs to be covered. Season 2, Episode 8 was actually the show's longest episode yet, clocking in at 73 minutes for the finale. Total number of seasons. So how long is this show going to run? House of the Dragon will have 4 seasons total before it concludes, as Condal confirmed at a recent press conference. That means we're currently at the halfway point of the show's run. 2 seasons down, 2 to go. Trailer. Is there a trailer for Season 3 yet? Not yet, but as soon as any footage drops, I'll be covering it here on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss it. That's everything we know so far about House of the Dragon Season 3. Summer 2026 can't come soon enough. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited to see. Is it the Battle of the Gullet? Daron finally appearing? Rhaenyra on the Iron Throne? Drop your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next one.